Hello everyone, and welcome to the Little Blue Fly. Before I get started with everything today, I just would really like to take a moment and thank all of you for reaching out through mail or messages with positive thoughts and prayers for our Riley. She's actually doing much better. Pain management stepped in, and we believe that we have a new healthy plan for Riley as we continue on. She does have several other surgeries that will be taking place. But right now we're in a good place, and she has no pain at all. So thank you all so much for being so supportive. It meant everything to us and to Riley. She felt so good knowing that everyone was saying prayers for her and good thoughts. So, okay, now we're going to move. This is when we first moved in to the cottage. It was just like this, and now we are going to have a voila moment, okay, with much transformation. So that being said, let's begin, shall we? Okay, in previous video, for those of you that are new, I do have a video where I opened up this wall because it was just a bookcase. We went ahead and I stripped all the paint off down to the wood, and we did some staining to match the original window, 83-year-old window in mint condition that was hiding behind that false wall. Okay, so we are going to begin. I did show how I patched up some of the walls. Now here, okay, so this is Pharaoh and Ball. First time using them, and there's these little clips that when pew, it just sort of took off. But I'm not used to having clips on my paint cans. And the lid was a little bit different. It's thinner than the other, if that makes sense. The top lid part is thinner than all the other paint that I've worked with, Benjamin Moore, Sherwin-Williams. But we decided to go with the Pharaoh and Ball because it's perfect for plaster walls. And we have plaster walls. But we also have two other layers, so we don't have to fuss with the mold mildew that comes through with plaster. I have this little device that my husband purchased for me, so no more stirring stick. I know many of you mentioned, take it to the paint shop, and everything is just so busy around here. If I leave the home, I always end up staying out there or taking on some other type of decorating or finding something. So it's always best for me to stay at home and not take off out into town, because 9 times out of 10 I don't get anything done at home. I'm just bad like that. But anyways, this tool is fabulous. I'm showing this side here, so to the right, that has not been painted. What you are seeing here is the base paint from Pharaoh and Ball, all the way from the crown molding up at top to the baseboards. I have to take things piece by piece because this is such a small room. Excuse me. So I'm doing quite a bit of cutting in, being careful. I do not get any paint on that wood that I just refinished. And again, this is, well, I apologize. This is the actual paint color. And I decided to go with stony ground because I wanted something that has a very creamy texture, aged. It also has some red undertones, so it will bring in warmth to this paint color. And I decided to go with the dead flat paint, and I will explain that in just a moment. That was so important to me. I did quite a bit of research here. And right here, I have something going on here, and that is the large arch here in the living room from the entryway going into the living room. Yes, I am stripping it down to the wood. Huge chore. I do not know why I keep doing this to myself, but this is a lot of work. But I just keep telling myself, the end result is going to be gorgeous. So again, I stopped painting right there, and as I get this wall decorated, then I'll continue on. So this Polished Home series is going to be a step process. Okay, so here we have the wall. I painted 2 coats of the stony ground, and I decided to go with the dead flat. I'm also cleaning off the radiator here. We're just a mess everywhere. But the dead flat, it's scrubbable. It's very durable. And you will not get light bouncing off all over the place on the walls. You will get the true color of all your decor items that you add in your room. So I highly recommend dead flat paint from Faro and Ball. And again, this is stony ground, and I will be pairing it with another color for the front window. That's next video. The paint's called Mouse's Back. And I thought, how perfect, right? Because we are, yes, French and English country, old world, but also fairy tale and whimsy. So Mouse's Back is going to be perfect for the front window. Little bit stormy over here in Virginia. And we're going to start with this main wall here in the living room. Now again, I do have a previous video sharing how I brought this window and door back to its original glory. So again, 2 coats, stony ground, dead flat paint from Faro and Ball. And the first piece on the mood wall. Okay, so this is, let me not get ahead of myself. This is a picture my mother actually purchased when I was just a little girl from a garage sale for a couple of dollars. And it's called The Fairy Tale. Everything about this is old world, French country, English country, everything that I love in my home. Now I'm calling these next few videos that will be taking place in my living room the Polished Home series. Look how great that I'm just in love. Maybe because I worked so hard getting all the paint off and the wood back to its original state. But the series is called The Polished Home. And then the polished home is anything that you see to be refined or elegant. This is a picture. I think this was a Facebook Marketplace find. Could not pass it up. Love the aged bronze color. And of course the bunnies. I'm a big bunny rabbit lover. And it will be perfect on the mood wall. Okay, so again, many people make mood boards. I decided, no. I don't want to make a mood board, although they are great, right? I'm just going to go all out and do a mood wall. And a mood wall to me is just something that I want to surround myself with and in. So when I'm in this room, I want to feel complete comfort and be able to go in my state of, just dream, a dreamy state. And it will be easier to achieve by surrounding myself with the things that I love. This was a Facebook Marketplace find, very ornate frame. And again, a mood wall is just something that you would like to surround yourself with, all the different layering of items that you love. And many of you might not even be maximalists like myself. You might be minimalists, and that's fine. Just decorate with the items that you love. And mine happens to be all the ornate gold gilding and the different tones of wood. And again, all of this is a process. And I decided, okay, we'll speak more about it in next video. When I say many layers are going to be taking place in this living room, I mean it. So it was very important that I had this creamy beige color on my walls because the ceiling is about to be, oh my goodness, incredible. And that is coming up shortly. This is a print, eBay. I actually won the bid on this. It's called The Visitor. It was from Home and Garden Party. I actually sold many of these prints years ago. And they're so hard to find. So again, it is called The Visitor, and it is by Home and Garden Party. And I do not remember the name of this one, but it did go with The Visitor. And brother is just sharing a nest with his sweet sister that he found when he was out in the fields weeding and gathering vegetables for Mom. And these two fit perfectly inside of the door and the window. Now, just ignore that light switch because we're trying to find a brass one and not having much luck. But this piece here, I'm trying to get it into focus. What I believe I purchased $4.99 for this when we were just out thrifting. I did share this and in a previous decor haul. Again, the aged gold gilding. We have some cracks in the wood. Now, a polished home doesn't always mean it needs to be flawless, okay? Because when you have things that have a ding or a scratch, it can still very much so be a polished home, one with character and rich in stories, and character for that matter. So we're going to be adding, I'm going to continue adding on to this wall as the videos are taking place here in the living room. Now I'm going to go on the far wall and just look at all this gold and the wood tones. I can't get over this look with the refinished door and window. Completely in love with this wall. This shelf was purchased. It was actually, I picked this up at an antique store. Yes. And of course, I love everything about it because it's very ornate. It's aged. It has the gold gilding. So as you can see look, ooh, changing color, because change outside. This room just picks up so many different shades of color. And I love them all, I must say. This was just recently purchased from an antique store. Now, the theme that I'm going on my mood wall is that of course, French and English country, old world, but European children and the animals that I love. I am looking for landscaping pictures as well. So any of you that know where I can get some, please let me know. Because I am in desperate need of some landscaping pictures. Okay, here we go. Things are a little bit brighter now. And we're going to add in the next print, the two little girls playing outdoors with their little buddy pal. Being a child, amazing times. When the only thing you really have to stress about is what vegetable mom is serving for dinner. At least that was me. Now I will be adding different pictures up above, and again I'm looking for landscaping prints. To the left there will be some changes with the shelf and with the pictures. I did decide to lower those down a bit because it was just bothering me. Whenever I decorate in a room, you know, I place things up, but I always make sure to stand back and leave the room and come back in to see if it still gives the same feel for me. Now this is a metal sconce with a fluted glass. I don't remember if this was Facebook Marketplace or not, but I'm trying to decide where do I want it to go. Up at top, next to the girls, down below. Again, it's a process. And I decided to place them down below. Now up by the bunnies, I would like, again, to have some landscaping pictures. And as you can see in the window, I added a shelf. Because it originally had 3 shelves inside of the bookcase. I mean, why would they cover this window up? I just don't get it. And then I added another shelf. So I have 2 shelves. I will not be placing in the third one. I will just be using 2. Because for me, it's all about layering. I just don't want one piece here and there. I want many pieces to take in. Because that's the way I like it. And when you are polishing your home and refining your home, make sure it is to your taste and your liking. Okay, I did share these in my previous decor haul. These are, a few of them will be coming up today. They are terracotta moss pots. And I did share a link for these in my video. It was right before this one. It's the decor haul. And I just placed in a variegated faux boxwood ball. Here's another pot I will be adding. Has the detail of different leaves and some berries and scalloping around the edges. Reminds me of a pie crust. And this one has a bit of a weave to it. I like to pick out things that you can cluster them together. They have a likeness about them, but yet different as well. So they all have their own characteristic to them. So just keeping it very simple up at top, 3 of the moss pots. And then down below, oh, we have our sea goddess here. She was a Facebook Marketplace find. And I absolutely love her. She will always stay up in my living room. I'm sure she's going to go here and there all throughout, but for right now, I want her right here. And here's another moss pot. Again, it has like the pie crust, scalloped edges, and this is a mini myrtle tree. Real. Oh, definitely real, and I love mixing the real with the faux. It feels so good that Riley is feeling better. Again, she's not in pain, and I can do a little bit of decorating because my house is a hot mess. And yes, we have to work on that. This pot is from Vase Imports. Now, if you go, I will link my Amazon storefront down below. I do have a few blue and white pots that can be purchased. And I've worked with these several times. And during Christmas, right? That's when I purchased them. And I stated through the holiday, these are just not for Christmas, but I can use them in spring, which I did, right? In some of my decorating. Summer, fall, all season long. And that's the way I like it. And then I have this Harlequin painted tray. I do have a video on this a few years back showing how to achieve this pattern. This is just a wooden like charger for the table. And I wanted to place it under the plant just to give it some height, but just a little touch of whimsy. Because I like having that in my decorating. And time for some blue and white. It's so French country. And I am bringing more of this into the home on a weekly. And I mean that. And just look at that blue and white next to the wood. Can you say, oh my gorgeous? Yes. Love this blue and white next to the wood. And I have some of these old fable books, Facebook Marketplace find. I do have 3 of them. They are this gorgeous navy blue with gold. Great place to buy these. Secondhand, thrift stores. You know, many of the books you can purchase, hardbacks for 50 cents. Encyclopedia sets, fabulous. You can find those for so cheap on Facebook Marketplace or even in thrift stores. And there's some really, really, really nice sets out there. And when decorating shelves, I just personally love having books. Real books. I mean, faux books are nice too. But again, I'm thinking more polished. Okay, the polished home. More refinement. So therefore, I'm putting in things that like real books. Vintage, like this pot here. I believe this was a Facebook Marketplace find with some drippy candles. Love burning my candles, getting some drippiness to them and decorating with them. Sometimes I don't want to burn a new candle. I want to burn a drippy candle. It just depends on what mood I'm in. So I place them underneath a cloche because a cloche just puts more emphasis, right, on the piece that is underneath. And I just felt like doing this with my pot and candles on top of the book. So again, you know, when making the polished home, I'm calling it just hold back on nothing. Put everything out there that you absolutely love. And if it has a chip, I'm a big one. If it's a little misfit, that's perfectly fine, right? Because misfits need love too. When you have a polished home, a refined home, an elegant home, it doesn't always have to be perfect. At least I don't think so. That's my personal opinion. Okay, so I have the pot down at the bottom. I want to balance things out a little bit. Love the it's like a whitewashing aged look on these berries and leaves. Get many different colors of the plum coming through, greens and browns. So I placed it up on the second shelf just to give some balance here. And I have this sweet little brass bird candle holder. I don't remember where I purchased this piece, but I know I have shared this on a decorating haul. But you can find them Facebook Marketplace, Etsy, eBay, thrift stores, antique shops, flea markets. Let's not forget those wonderful flea markets. I really want to take in a few, but you know, we're kind of here at home for the time being. Okay, so I have some gold gilded candle holders, 2 of them. Again, I believe they're Facebook Marketplace. Everything's Facebook Marketplace. I can't get away from Facebook Marketplace. I placed them up on the Harlequin tray. Okay, now over here to the left, I'm going to be pulling everything down. Now, this plate, I absolutely love this plate. Gorgeous. Love the plum and the rose color and the aged beige that's going on here with the touches of green and just all wrapped with this gold goodness, right? The golden goodness. And I thought, I put it up on the wall and I just didn't care for it. You know, again, I put something up, I stand back to see if I still like it, and I absolutely did not. So I had touch up to do because of the nail hole, but it's all a process, right? And guess what? We have a blooper. This should not be in here. But it's been a long time, right? It has been a long time. So I am bound to have some bloopers in here. So let's just enjoy this beautiful plate again. What a mess. This is great. So I've been trying to decide, what do I want to fill my sconces with? And so I'm still thinking about that, but inside of the gold frame, I decided to add in this precious picture of a blue and white vase of roses. Blush colored roses. Okay, over here we're going to switch over here for a moment. On the shelf, I have these little cast iron farm birds. And as you can see here, they are from England. And I believe if these were not Facebook Marketplace, they were eBay. And the party that was selling them, they were her mother's for years. And I would love to get my hands on more of these. And then the wooden bird in the back, that's hand carved from 1930. And I thought it was appropriate to put them up since we have brother and sister here out in the country working outside and the little girl down below with her basket. It just seemed perfect. And there's the little print over in the frame to the right. As you can see to the left, I pulled everything down, and up at top I added another photo, and during the close-up you will get a better look at it. It feels better now having that shelf a little bit lower, like to where the light switch is. Everything just seemed a bit too high for me. And then again, as time goes on, I will be adding, I am looking for landscape pictures. So again, if any of you know, and reasonable, because some of them can be so costly, and just small ones and with ornate frames. And who do we have here? How many of you remember his name? For those of you that are new, you might not have met him yet. Let me get him focused in with his little bow tie and hat. This is Stuart. Stuart loves to go all around the cottage. He really loves being on top of the books and looking over the books, making sure that they are well cared for. I just don't know what we would do without Stuart. Now again, the next video that's coming up, we will be working on the wall where the window is at, and up above on the ceiling it's going to be completely transformed. Oh gosh, I'm just so excited with this part. It is going to completely change this mood wall and bring in so much warmth, because I love my botanical prints. I will be decorating in the next video with my vintage botanical prints, and I just wanted to keep them going inside this living room area. I hope you all enjoyed the first part of the Polished Home series, and I will be back real soon with more videos. Thank you all for visiting us.